Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about pronunciation. Now, I've made this sheet for my students. It's called American Pronunciation for Japanese People. It's American pronunciation because I'm American. Of course, people in Texas or New York have different ways of saying things. I'm from California, so it is my English that you're going to learn from. For Japanese people, I made this sheet for my students based on what I notice when I teach them. Also, there's katakana, so there's that. All right, let's get started. So, first thing I want to talk about is O. Now, I like to ask my students, after drawing an O on the board, I say, "What letter is this?" And they say, O, of course. Then I say, "What sound does O have?" And they think, O? And yes, that's correct, but not all the time. Sometimes O is ah. Actually, many times O is ah. So here is O as ah. I put a circle, but really it just means open your mouth. Ah. I also have some words for O sounding O to compare. For this O, it's O, like this kind of shape. Okay? So let me show you some examples. This word is hot. Hot. In katakana, it's hotto, ho. But in English, it's ha, hot. Okay? If you want to say ho, this is the sound hotel. That's the ho sound. Okay? Here's another example. Bot. Bot. So some people pronounce it boat. Maybe British people or something like that. But in American English, it's bought. Bought. I bought something. I went to the store and I bought something. Okay? So all this O-U-G-H is just ah. Just ah. Bought. Bought. Okay? If you say boat, most Americans will hear this boat. Fune, right? Let's go on to the next word. Caught. Caught. The past tense of catch. Now, some people say coat, but if you say coat, it sounds like coat, like a coat. Well, this is a sweater, but coat, you know. So this is caught. I caught a cold. All right. Next is on. Don't say own. It sounds like own, like you own something. Dog. Australia. Now, Australia has three A's. This A sound is ah. I know in katakana it's Australia, but in American English it's ah. Australian English, I don't know. But for American English, it's ah. Australia. This is A, and this sound we will talk about later. Okay? Then there's all, off, want. Now compare want with won't. Want, won't. Or boss, both. Boss, both. You can see my mouth doing different shapes, yes? Now you have October. There's two O's, ah and O. All right, so this is ah. I know in katakana it's O, but for American English, the sound is ah. October, ah, O, ah, O. Okay? Now we go to walk. Now, many of my students ask me how to pronounce this. It's very simple. It's walk. Walk. Wa-ku. Walk. Like waku waku, right? Walk. Of course, forget the L. Many AL words cut the L, like talk, chalk. We don't say talk or chalk or walk. We say walk, talk, chalk. Okay? But don't say woke. Woke, this is woke. Okay? Woke is past tense for wake up, right? Woke. I woke up this morning. Okay? This is walk. Now, maybe some of you are thinking about work, right? What about work? We'll talk about that in page 2. All right, let's continue. Now, we're going to do the A letter. For the A letter, the sound is ah. So I put this shape here. This shape. Kind of your mouth going like ah, right? this sound is not in Japanese like ah or o, but most of my students have no problem with this sound. Hat, bat, cat, an, at, apple, banana. Now there's 3 A's, but only the middle A is ah. Okay? Now we have the next sound is the U sound of Now, how do you do this? I feel like somebody punched me in the stomach. That kind of sound. I also put this shape here because I feel it makes my mouth kind of go like this from my under my chin. Okay, this sound is not in Japanese. It's very difficult for Japanese people to do it, but you can practice. Okay, So let's say some of these words. Hut, hut. Now this is hut. Do you know what a hut is? It's kind of like a beach house with a straw roof. So Pizza Hut is a hut. It's not Pizza Hat. If you don't believe me, check it out. But, cut, love, color, banana. So this is ba-na-na. You can see my mouth change. Banana. Of, Australia. Australia. A. Mother. And finally, brother. Okay, now I put it in this order so you can practice these sounds. Now your mouth will change shape. Please watch me. Ah, ah, o. You can see ah, o, or o. Okay? If you can see 4 different shapes, that's great. Let's practice this line. Hat, hut, hot, hotel. Okay? One more time. Hat, hut, hot, hotel. Again, if you could see 4 shapes, good. If you can hear 4 sounds, fantastic. Okay, let's do this line. Bat, butt, bot, boat. Let's do this line. Cat, cut, cot, coat. One more line. An, on, own. All right. So those are the A sounds. Now let's move on to the I and E sounds. So for I and E, we have the E sound, which is easy for Japanese people. So let's do it. Beat, seat, feet, heat, eat, money, leave. Now, of course, in katakana, this is mane, mane. But this ma is this sound, and, sorry, this is E, money, money, okay? Now, the next sound is also easy for Japanese people because you have it, is e. Bet, set, vet, healthy, many, said, any, hello. Now, I put these words because they have A's, but the sound is still e. Okay? Many, not mani. Said, not Said or Said. Said. Any, not ani. And hello. Now, hello is easy, but many people, of course, say haro, ha. But he is in the Japanese language, so it's very easy to change to hello. Okay? Now, the next sound is a very common sound in American English, maybe all English. It's I, okay? Now, how do you do it? It's the sound between I and E. So if you start with I and you do I, if you go from I to E, but you stop in the middle, I, that's the sound of the English I sound, okay? Bit, sit, fit, hit, it, is, in, live. Okay? Now, just like the A sounds, you can do top to bottom. Okay? So watch my mouth. Beat, bit, bet. Beat, bit, bet. Seat, sit, set. Feet, fit, vet. Okay? If you can see 3 different shapes, great. If you can hear 3 different sounds, amazing. I just want to show the difference of these words, eat and it. So, of course, many students say eat, eat, but it's eat and it, different sound. Or leave and live, leave, live. Many people get confused because they say leave and leave, but this is live. Okay? All right. The next section is kind of strange, okay? Now, I'm going to teach you something that I noticed. Now, maybe most Americans you talk to will not believe me, but it's what I noticed, okay? A, hold on, A, E, I, O, U, hold on, A, E, I, O, U, plus N equals in. Okay? Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? Let me show you what I'm talking about. We have the word sun. Okay? Sun. Of course, this is O and N, but right now, it's just sun. Okay? Just sun. But if you add per to it, it's no longer per sun, it's person. Person. Okay? Sorry. Person. Okay? Because O plus N equals in. So it becomes person. Okay? Another example is man. Okay? This is man. Okay? Just man. But if you add this, it becomes human. Human. Not human. Not human. It's human. Human. Okay? All right, let me explain more. A, E, I, O, U plus N equals in. For now, don't care about this. So, we got person. Okay? It's person, person, person. Human. Okay? Human, human. Okay? This is. This is land. But together, island. Island. Okay? So, you're probably wondering why this is sun alone, but together it's person. Why? Because, as I put here, small words are not included. So an, on, man, sun, land, and are as they are. It's not in, min, sin. No. Just an, on, man, sun. Just when you make it a bigger word, it starts to change the sound. And I will explain why later. Okay? So the next word is London. London. Okay? London. London. So you ask, hey, Tommy, if it's O plus N equals in, why is it not Linden? Why not Linden? Okay. So earlier I said small words are not included. But also beginnings of words. Hold on, let me put this here. Beginning of words are also not included. Another, under, enter. So why is that? Because in English, we have something called enunciation. There's actually enunciation in many languages, including Japanese, and I will talk about later. But enunciation is how strong you speak. So we say under with different strength. Under, under, under. So this un is strong. The stronger we speak, the more, I guess you can say, strictly we speak. So under. But if you look at person, the beginning is person, person. The second half is very short and small. So we say person. Okay? Not person, person. So the beginning of words are always strong, even if it has an N. Okay? A vowel and an N. So that's why London is not Linden. It's London. Okay? One more thing I'd like to say about emphasis part of words. It says emphasized parts of words are also not included. So Batman is equal strength. Batman. It's a compound word. Batman. We don't say Batman. We don't say Batman. We say Batman, Iron Man, Spider-Man. It's the same strength. Okay? Or command is very good because command is command, command. So the A and the N is stronger because it's at the second half. Okay? All right. Here's a couple more words. Bacon. I know in katakana, bacon. But in English, it's bacon. Salmon. So, of course, A-L, like I said earlier, with walk and talk and chalk. No L sound. But in katakana, salmon, right? In English, salmon. 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 Okay? Now we have this section I want to talk about. It says, sometimes a word can end with a different letter and still follow this style. So here is a D. It's not an N. But we still say salad. Salad instead of sarad. It's salad. Or Christmas. 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 So we don't say Christmas. Christmas. Okay. Now, let me say a few more details. I put this in case you have problems doing this sound. Okay, so this is person. But if you say perseen, if you're using this sound for I, it doesn't sound natural. So perseen, humine, does not sound good. If you have a trouble saying the I sound, person, human, just cut the vowel. Cut the letter. Person, person, human, human. Kind of sounds a little similar. Okay? Not many students need to do this, but I put it here just in case. Now, I'm going to tell you something very crazy about English. Now, languages like Japanese, Spanish, and many others, a, I, U, E, O, the vowels, always sound the same. A is always A. E is always E. But in English, it's not. Okay? Many times it changes. Of course, it changes with accent, where you're from, but it also changes how quickly you speak and how strongly you speak. Okay? So, when we speak at a normal speed, a quick normal speed, we say person, island, bacon, salad, Christmas, right? But if we speak slowly, we change the vowel sound a little bit. And normally we change it to un. So A, E, I, O, U plus N equals un if you speak slowly. Now, what do I mean? Mariah Carey. All I want for Christmas. Sound. Okay? This sound. If you hear other songs like We Wish You a Merry Christmas, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, it's Christmas. But when they say it slowly, Christmas, it's okay? This is something we do in American English. Why? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop here for now, and I will do page 2 and maybe page 3 in the next video. Feel free to take a screenshot of the sheets I'm going to put at the end of the video. Thank you very much. Take care.